Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about abnormally high amounts of first snowfall as well as month-early snowfalls across the Northern Hemisphere. The entire premise of my videos is that the sunspot number over the next couple of solar cycles should decrease as the forecasts go, and as they do, this will usher in a solar minimum, which means cooler temperatures. You can look back and do some history checking yourself through the Dalton and the Maunder minimum. If we are going into a cooler temperature era, there should be signs all around us. So let's take a look. This year, out of a 46-year history when records were kept, this year is number one with Snowcover. September 30th, almost 5 million square kilometers over North America. The University Global Snow Lab out of Rutgers, they show the same data set here. Notice on the right side, the high bar. This is the most since 1968 when they began keeping records. Also, if we take a look at the United States Historical Climatology Network, we're going to see the same thing. The amount of stations that reached 90 degrees this year was the smallest on record in, say, the last 120 years. Early snowfalls on the Big Island of Hawaii on October 13th blanketed the peaks. Jumping over to Europe, we're going to take a look into Bulgaria and Gabrovo and Sevlievo. Also notice these first initial snowfalls, they're not flurries or just maybe a couple centimeters of snow. These are on the 25 centimeter range, which is about 10 inches, far above normal for as early in the season as it is. If you don't know where Bulgaria is, let's take a look here on the European map. It's the red area indicated next to the Black Sea. Conditions on the roads, as you can see, are hazardous as driving. It did strand quite a few drivers unexpectedly. A couple more photos here for you to look at. This is the area that was covered by snowfall. Notice the red. This affected Turkey as well. First snowfalls sweep through Turkey. Road conditions kind of hazardous. Winter came early to Austria as well. For those of you in North America, centimeter equivalent to inches, 25 centimeters is about 10 inches. It's generally what is falling across the planet right now in terms of early snowfall. Switzerland, this is off a cam off of the mountain. The snow extended down to around 600 meters, which is early and heavy. Jumping up into China, taking a look at HeiLong Jiang. If you don't know where HeiLong Jiang is, it's in the northern part of China. It borders Russia, also North Korea on the east side there. That it snowed early, but the volume of snow that they received, again, we're right around the 25 centimeter range. I'll leave the link below so you can watch the video yourself, but here's a couple images that were rolled off during that time. Notice how little traffic there is on the road. China is usually clogged with traffic, but this snowfall, really having a difficult time there in the cities. Also in Gansu, snowed a bit early. First snowfall heavier than usual on October 11th. If you don't know where Gansu is, it's out in western China. To the north of that is Nemonggu, which is Inner Mongolia, and to the south is Sichuan province, which Chengdu is the capital, so it's kind of sandwiched between those two provinces. Early snows also in Iran, and this is October 11th. Take a look at what happened on the passes up there against all traffic, stranded vehicles. And the saddest story of all was the Nepali blizzards that were brought on by Cyclone Hudhud. That massive water that pushed up from the Indian Ocean met all that cold, dry air that's usually over the Himalayan mountains right now during the perfect trekking season. It just turned into a disaster. All that water turned into snow. A lot of people froze to death and died on the passes up there. They had 2 meters of snow in a matter of a day. I mean, people couldn't make it past. They were huddled in their rest houses and just trying to prevent themselves from freezing, but a few people did get stuck on there. I would consider this an anomalous event, a cyclone this late in the season pushing north into the Himalaya. Surface snow depth map here. You can see the snow's pushing further south. And how would I know that? And you say, well, how can you just say snow is pushing further south? I actually found a couple NOAA data sheets from snow coverage of 2013 compared to 2014. The Siberian snow extent, the 10-year moving average from 2004 to 2014, how far that is above the moving average over the last several years. If I was a giant looking from space onto the North Pole, this is the view I would have seen of snow coverage, 2013 on the left, 2014 on the right. I wouldn't say gargantuan, but the large increase in amount of snow cover by millions of square kilometers over the hemisphere. This is North America. You can see the snowfall difference between 2013 on the left, 2014 on the right. I also had a chance to jump into the NASA Earth Observatory. I went back to 2011, took a look at the Northern Hemisphere to see how much snowfall coverage there was during September. September 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. There's substantially more in North America as well as the Tibetan Plateau. And over the last week, we had the giant sunspot, the largest sunspot in the last 25 years. It sent several X-flares out. None of them had ejecta. But quickly after that spot passed, we're back down to the pinpricks, which is bringing us into the solar minimum again. I also found some backup data that corroborated what I was placing as the 2035 minimum. This is from Spain. I encourage you to do your own research. Take a look at the link I've left there on the photo. We're about halfway down the cooling trend. We need to go about half as much again until we start to warm around 2035 and then get out of this cooling trend. As always, I offer a solution for every problem. Granite dust, something simple, inexpensive, that can act as a soil enhancer or replacement for fertilizer. This is some results from carrots. As you see on the right, this was grown with conventional fertilizer. On the left, this was a combination of fertilizer and granite dust. I encourage you to do your own research and see how you can use this if you plan to do any sort of indoor gardening, container gardening, or any types of enclosed greenhouse spaces. Every country has granite dust. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new.